everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. As you guys saw in that intro, our trusses got delivered this morning. We're still waiting on the rest of the lumber and the metal before the guys can get started on that. We're probably another week or two out from starting the building down there, but I figured that'll give us some time to finish this building that we never truly finished. We got it in a good enough place last fall to be able to move things in and get them out of the weather, like the four-wheeler, the side-by-side, and some other things. But it's truly just been kind of a catch-all for everything to get out of the weather over the winter. I want to pull everything out and then actually finish this building off the right way. We ran out of stain last fall, so you can see we still need to stain the inside of this as well as a lot of the posts. And then we're also short on gravel in here. If you look around the bottom baseboard or bottom band board there, you can still see daylight in. We probably need to bring the whole pad up about 3 or 4 inches worth of gravel. And then, like I said, it's just been a catch-all for everything all winter long. And so it's kind of got junked up just because we moved into it pretty quickly without taking the time to truly organize it. So once we get it stained, stone brought in, I want to do a little bit of organizing in here. So this is a nice place to store things and not just haphazardly thrown in there. All right, so we got that whole triaxle load of 2A limestone spread. We were able to actually add our approach over here, widen out both of these aprons on both sides. And this was always mud before, whenever it would rain, and coming up this hill, you would just spin it out and it was just getting worse and worse. So now we've got good stone on there to keep that good and dry. And then as you can see, as we look inside the building, this looks so much better than it did before. We're all the way up to the band boards on the bottom there. One nice thing about having these extra posts in the middle is it gave me an extra line of level sight, so I knew as long as I was getting to the bottom of those pillars there on every one, that was kind of a good guess and check. I didn't have to get the laser level out here, and I was able to eyeball this pretty darn close to perfectly level. But this is what the inside of it looks like now. Nothing left to do now but get some shelves hung up along the back wall, and then I do want to put some lights in here as well. So using an online triangle calculator, I was able to determine what both of my angles needed to be to make my diagonal legs so I can keep the floor space underneath this shelf free. One angle was like 39 degrees and the other one was 52, and my miter saw only goes to 47 degrees. So I did have to make one cut with the circular saw, and yeah, I could have done this whole project with just the circular saw, but having the miter saw out there definitely makes things a lot easier. Whew, all right, I'm starting to get beat. We're getting a lot done in this video. Building stained, gravel spread, shelves built, and the finishing touch is I want to hang some lights. These are some Harbor Freight Braun 5500 lumen lights. The reason I like these is they're cheap. They're like 20 bucks a piece, so 80 bucks for lighting. Plus, they are all plug and play. I don't actually have to run wiring out here. You can just connect one to the next, and you can link up to 8. And then I can just run a 110 plug down and then bring out a portable power station out here, put it on the shelf, and I'll have lights out here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these hung real quick, and then we'll get this video wrapped up. So I'm not planning to run power out here. What I plan on powering these lights is these portable power stations, the same exact ones that I've been using to run the stain sprayer and the miter saw. This is the new DJI Power 1000, and this is the new DJI Power 500. Now, DJI is fairly new to the portable power station market, but they probably have one of the best reputations out of any of the companies that I've seen given their track record. I've been using DJI products for the last 5 years, and honestly, a big portion of our YouTube channel relies on DJI products. I have 2 DJI drones. I've got a DJI Mini 3 Pro, and I've got a Mini 4 Pro. I have 2 Osmo Actions, the original Osmo Action from when I first started the YouTube channel, and then I've got the newest Osmo Action 4, as well as the DJI Mic 2, which is the microphones that we use here on the channel. So when DJI reached out to us and asked if we wanted to try out one of these portable power stations, I immediately said yes, because I know if it's got the DJI name on it, it's going to be one of the best ones on the market. And it doesn't disappoint. This is the first portable power station that is lightweight enough that you can still pick up and carry very easily, that can run my miter saw. I mean, that miter saw pulls a lot of power when you first start to spin the blade. This thing is capable of max 2200 watts. The 500 is capable of 1012 watts. So both of them are more than capable to run the lights in here. These LED lights from Harbor Freight only pull about 220 watts. I believe the reason they call this is the 1000 and this the 500 because that's how many watt hours are stored in each battery. So if this has 1024 watt hours, that means that it could run these 220 watt lights for about 4.5 hours. And this one here being 512 watt hours, it should be able to run these lights for a little over 2 hours, which is plenty sufficient for anything I would need out here. Now, I did come out here last night to test to see what these lights looked like when it was pitch black out. With 4 of these lights pulling 220 watts, that means each light is only 55 watts for an LED light, and it was plenty sufficiently bright out here for anything I would need to be doing out here. And let's just say it's the dead of winter and it gets dark at 4:30, 5 o'clock at night, and I do need to, say, run these lights for 8 hours. I'm probably not going to be out here for 8 hours, but each one of these batteries only takes 70 minutes to recharge from 0 to 100. And because it's DJI, it's compatible with both of the drones and all of the other equipment for fast charging. So for me, there's a lot of times that I go out in the field to film. If I'm going to film another business or something like that, I need to make sure I have all my batteries charged. I can take these with me and fast charge batteries out on the road. Anyways, guys, if you're at all interested in these portable power stations, I will leave a link in the description. It's one of those things that you see them on YouTube all over the place, but until you actually have one and realize how much you use it, I use these things all the time for little stupid stuff like running a paint sprayer or running the miter saw or charging my Milwaukee batteries or something when I'm out on the go. It just saves you from having to, I mean, the house right now is probably 200 yards away. I'd have quite a bit, a chain of extension cords to get all the way out here, and this is just nice and easy to grab and go. So I'll leave a link in the description. Check them out if you're at all interested in trying out one of these portable power stations. All right, guys, so there we go. This project is now completely wrapped up to completion. I was thinking about while I was working on this, you know, it feels so good to take a project that's 95% of the way done and cross that finish line at 100%. You know, good enough is not good enough. You know, this equipment shed was good enough last fall to get everything moved in and out of the weather, but it's just one of those things that if you leave it at 95% done, that extra 5% is just always going to be hanging over your head, that every time you walk in here, it's going to be, oh, one of those days I'll get to it. Well, now that we're 100% done, I don't have any of those, one of those days I'll get to it hanging over my head. Feels really good. Here's another update for you. If any of you guys were wondering how much board and batten siding shrinks, right there is a good indicator. I Okay, this project is 99.9% done. I am missing 4 batten strips on the back of the building. I want to wait until the new building is put up and I can get the sawmill set up before I go ahead and mill those. But that is the last thing I have to do, is 4 batten strips on the back side of the building. Here's a quick look at the setup I've got for the power station. So it's just gonna hang out up here on the shelf. I will take this inside at the end of every day and bring it out whenever I want to run power, but you can see right there it's pulling 219 watts. Those 4 lights are in here. And yeah, we're all set up. Time to start moving everything back in. I've got plenty of storage up there. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to about wrap this one up, just in time to get started on the new building. I do have one update for you, though, and I'm sure I've already gotten probably at least 5 or 10 comments down below on this video before it's even done, asking for a pond update. People are getting mad that I haven't done a pond update. It's been probably 4 or 5 months since we've done one. I think probably January or March was the last time we did a pond update. And the reason I haven't done one is because the pond is still leaking and we're waiting for some things to fall into place to figure out what our next move is going to be. So hopefully sometime throughout the month of June, we will be getting to a pond update explaining what's going on, what the plan is, so you'll have to stick around for that one.